Pledge of Allegiance, and I'm going to ask Mr. Kubik to get us started.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll start with introductions. I'm Kristen Bruno, Board Chair.
Kristen Harmeling, Board Secretary.
Ed Camillo, Board Member.
James Garofalo, Board Member.
Stefan Bahuniak, Board Member.
Dr. Compton, School Superintendent.
Shannon Levy, Board Clerk.
Jeremy Tomaszewski, Senior Representative. Pete Kubik, Board Member.
Lauren Foley, Board Member.
Chris Champagne, Vice Chair. If I could make a motion.
No.
I'd like to make a motion to move public comment item 3 up to number 2.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then we have one other motion about the agenda.
Do you want to do that now? Okay. I should move that to what section?
Just, we're going to move it to,
Okay, I'd
Executive.
like to move 8C to discussion and possible action 7.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Right. Public comment. Are there any members of the public wishing to comment?
Good evening. First off, Mayor Jones, I'm here with Frank Scannick, former Board of Selectmen member, as well as a former Board of Education member. We are here tonight to ask the Board of Education if we could please name the gymnasium at the high school after Raymond Necchio. Raymond Necchio was a teacher, administrator, and we have his memorial coming up. And we'd just like to ask your permission if we could possibly name the gymnasium after Raymond Necchio.
My name is Frank Stanek, 22 North Benham Road, here in Seymour. I support the request that was just made by the First Selectwoman to name the gymnasium at Seymour High School in memory and in honor of Ray Necchio. Ray Necchio, as most of you know, was an icon, is an icon in Seymour and in Connecticut education. He was an outstanding educator, serving in many roles. He served as a coach, he served as a business teacher, he served as a principal, served as an assistant principal, he served as an athletic director. He had more titles, more positions than anyone I could remember in a single school district. He was gentle but firm. He was the icon. He cared about students. I had a discussion with him probably 10 years before he retired, and because he had held so many different positions that I thought he should seek his 193 certification to become a superintendent. He said, I don't want to be a superintendent because I want more student contact than the superintendent at the top of the school I would have. He often spent Friday evenings at my home for pizza. He became a friend of the time. He was just a terrific guy. I think naming the gymnasium would be a tribute and an honor in memory of Ray, but also a symbol to our students and our people of Seymour that this is the type of person for whom we honor with the naming of facilities such as the gymnasium. It is within your discretion, because you have jurisdiction of the building, to decide whether to name the building or the gymnasium or not. I urge you to do so.
Thank you. Jeremy, congratulations and happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Are there any other members of the public wishing to comment? other members of the public wishing to comment? Thank you. We will move on to the Board and Administrative Communications for an update from the Bungie Building Committee.
We recently, through the efforts of our state representative and first select woman, have been able to secure the additional funding of 10% for the early childhood. So that's another significant amount of reimbursement money that will go towards the school. We're in the process of developing a RFP for an architect and also for an owner representative. So we have a meeting tomorrow night where we'll be discussing that, and those will be going out for solicitation in the next week or so, with the anticipation of the full authorized funding coming in the May timeframe, where we can actually make the hire both an architect and or a owner representative.
Thank you. Any questions? Next, we have our Seymour Champion recognitions for integrity, and we'll start with Bungie School.
Good evening. Bungie School is recognizing the college students in the area of integrity, defined as acting with honor, honesty, trustworthiness, and tribute to their work. So the first student we'd like to recognize was nominated by his body. Jackson Blake, come on up. Jackson's being recognized for his outstanding ability in the classroom to be a member of the classroom and the classroom community. His sense of integrity shines through every day. He's a kind friend that you know will always be there for you. He sticks up and supports every student in the classroom when they need it. He does the right thing even when no one is looking. The class, both the classmates and his teacher, know that they can count on Jackson to tell the truth and to stand up for what's right. Congratulations, Jackson.
Ronald treats classmates fairly and always works to include others in class. He helps others without expecting recognition. Ronald follows the classroom and school rules even when no one is watching because he understands it is the right thing to do. Ronald takes ownership of his learning and challenges himself even when something feels hard. If he needs help, he asks instead of giving up or rushing. He shows excitement about learning and improving while also taking time to celebrate when he sees others in the challenges. Ronald always tries to do the right thing, and his behavior reflects strong character every day. This is why I am proud to honor Ronald as a Seymour Champion for integrity.
Great outfit.
Champion alumni.
Next, we have Capilla Presti School.
So for Captain Present School, we also nominated 2 students this month for integrity. Our first student is a 3rd grader, Leilani Figueroa, who was nominated by our classroom teacher, Ms. Dave.
Leilani is a quiet and humble student who is one of the kindest and trustworthy students I have met. She always does the right thing without anyone watching or reminding her. She works hard on her own to improve in school, stays honest in every moment, even on the craziest days, silliest days like Halloween or the day before the holidays when the whole class gets carried away. Leilani stays calm and never joins in. Her modest goodness and constant effort to be her best self clearly shines in her classroom. She truly deserves the support.
Does family want to come up?
And our second student that we're going to recognize for integrity at CLS is actually a student who joined us recently in the fall, Leonardo Cruz Frias. He was nominated by Ms. Otto as well as Ms. McCaslin.
Leonardo is new to my classroom this year and to Connecticut, but he has seamlessly integrated himself into the CLS community and is earned the respect of many staff members. Leonardo is the most honest, trustworthy, and humble student I have ever had the pleasure to teach. When Leo makes a mistake, he always owns up to it. He is not afraid to come to me and tell me when he makes a decision that he knows was not his best choice. Even if I am not aware of the choice he made, he comes to me to confess before I hear it from someone else. Anytime that myself or another staff member has to give him any constructive feedback, he has always owned his action and walks away a better person because we all know he most likely won't ever repeat the mistake again. Lastly, Leo has exhibited a strong moral compass for what is right and wrong when it comes to how students treat CLS staff members, something very few second graders can even begin to contemplate, let alone understand at their young age. The genuine qualities that Leonardo possesses are hard to come by, and for that reason I enthusiastically nominate him for the Seymour Champions Integrity Award.
So I am so lucky to have Leonardo in our class. He easily became a part of our community when he moved to Seymour and joined CLS. Leo is easily the friendliest and most outgoing student I have ever taught. These qualities helped him make friends quickly. The other students really enjoyed being with him. Leonardo always knows the difference between right and wrong. He always tries his best, but sometimes accidentally makes a choice that he learns is not the right thing to do. When that happens, he immediately apologizes and does the right thing right away. In addition to learning how to make good choices, he's learned how to be a good citizen of our school. He is a fiercely loyal friend. He stands up for them, makes sure they're included. He listens to them and makes them feel special. Leonardo has also stood up to others. He tells people when they aren't being kind and protects the people in our community. I'm proud to have Leo in our class. He is an incredible role model, but even better member of the community.
Seymour Middle School.
It's my honor to be here tonight to recognize two Seymour Middle School students. But before I do, I just want to make a quick observation. Some of the students who just came up with their big brother, their big sister, Seymour Middle School students, and I just want to recognize big brothers, big sisters that are in here tonight, because you've given your little brothers and sisters something to look up to. And for the little brothers and the little sisters that are getting these awards, you're giving your big brother and your big sister something to be proud of. So congratulations to the CLS and Bungie students who've done so well. At this time, it is my pleasure to call from the 7th grade red team, Penny Frost. Our first champion's recognition for integrity goes to Penny Frost, an outstanding 7th grade student who exemplifies the very best of Seymour Middle School. Penny demonstrates integrity in every aspect of her day. She is honest, respectful, and consistently makes thoughtful choices, even when no one is watching. What truly sets Penny apart is the quiet strength of her character. She treats others with kindness, shows empathy towards her peers, and carries herself with a maturity beyond her years. She never seeks recognition for doing the right thing. She simply lives it. Penny is the type of student who leads through her actions, setting a positive example that elevates the atmosphere of her classroom and the school community as a whole. Her reliability, compassion, and unwavering morale, and her moral compass make her a true role model. We are incredibly proud to honor Penny tonight as a Seymour champion for integrity. Congratulations. Second champion's recognition for integrity is awarded to Charlie Anderson, one of our top students at Seymour Middle School and a former Seymour Middle School spelling bee champion.
Yes.
Charlie exemplifies integrity through his honesty, responsibility, and steady commitment to always doing what is right. He is a student who can be trusted without question, someone both staff and students rely upon as well. In addition to his academic excellence, Charlie serves as the secretary of the student council and as manager for the boys basketball team. In these roles, he demonstrates exceptional dedication, whether he is keeping records, organizing materials, or supporting the team behind the scenes. Charlie takes every responsibility seriously and follows through with consistency and pride. Charlie leads quietly but powerfully through his actions. He honors his commitments, carries himself with humility, and models the kind of integrity that strengthens our entire school community. We are proud to recognize Charlie tonight as a Seymour champion for integrity. Charlie Seymour. Mrs. Esposito, I know you're here. You can come up too.
And Seymour High School.
I'm gonna break tradition here and call both of my young gentlemen up.
And it's time to do it. Maybe I'll try to smile. Seymour Spottenheimer nominated both of these young gentlemen. She wrote, "Integrity is often something that cannot truly be taught. It's something we talk about and tell students to have. It is revealed in actions over time." I've had the pleasure of knowing Peyton since he was in 7th grade and Spencer since his freshman year. And both of them consistently choose to do the right thing, whether anyone is watching or not. Peyton leads quietly but powerfully, holding himself in high standard in the classroom and in athletics. In doing so, he raises the standard for everyone around him. Spencer carries himself with the same steady character, showing up every day, prepared, accountable, and dependable, and in every setting as a student athlete. Both young men are mature beyond their years and are trusted in the high-pressure moments because their decisions reflect composure, honesty, and respect for their school community. They do not seek recognition, yet they lead by example through their work ethic and consistency. Peyton and Spencer embody what it means to be a Wildcat. Our schools are better because of the integrity they demonstrate every single day. I'd also like to say, gentlemen, that our whole K through 12 district looks forward to bringing boys into the high school and training them into men. These two juniors are already young men. So we're very proud of what you do on a daily basis. Keep doing the right thing when nobody's looking, and you're going to have a very, very bright future. So thank you. We'll take a joint picture, then we'll separate and have both families come together. All right, both families want to come up. Who wants to go first? All right, stay here, we'll get your family. We could break tradition and have one big family.
Yes, both. Okay. Yes, I would just like to mention that this month is Board Member Appreciation Month, and our board members are going to be receiving separate certificates this time. Not at this time, but we're going to be giving it to you later, but we just want to say a special thank you on behalf of the school system for what you do, and we appreciate you greatly. And again, no one realizes the amount of hours and the time of service that you put in. And guess what, folks? They don't get paid any money. This is all volunteer, so thank you again for being very good board members. We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
And then we have our student representative reports.
Alright, so we'll start off with our National Honor Society. Students have been participating in different events throughout our building and community. They offered midterm study sessions for students prior to exams. And for February, they're looking at spreading kindness and love throughout the building by doing little conversations of kindness hearts for staff and students. In March, they're hosting a school blood drive open to staff and students. Our student council continues to plan for spring activities such as powder puff and painting the rock outside of school for the seniors. Our powder puff game is scheduled for Thursday, April 9th at 6:30 on the football field. And we have been outreaching to our local agencies to develop a volunteer program. These includes Friends of Seymour, Seymour Community Center, the Lions, and Rotary Clubs. Our Hope Club created 15 toiletry kits for the homeless and made 2 dozen Valentine's cards for the residents of Seymour. Our Hope Club is sponsoring hats for Hope fundraiser across all the schools in the district on Friday, March 27th. And they're continuing to work on the Hope Closet for students in need and gathering prom materials. Our Kindercats, the February activity, had students working on reading poems in honor of Valentine's Day. Both seniors and kindergartners have been bonding well. The March activity is science-based. Seniors will assist the kinders in learning different parts of a flower, planting seeds, and creating a plant bank to keep track of their flowers' growth. Our sports teams, I'm sure you guys saw our girls basketball team earned the 2026 NBL tournament champion, and we'll look to continue the postseason run this Friday in the first round of the state tournament. Our boys basketball team finished their season with a 4-16 record, competing hard and continuing to build towards the future of their program. The boys swim team capped off a historic season with a 9-1 record, the best in program history. They finished third at the NBL championship this past weekend, with several athletes finishing in the top 4 of their events and multiple swimmers advancing to states this Friday. Our indoor track team wrapped up their season at the state meet, where the boys SMR and 4x100 relay teams both earned medals. The dance team competed at states this past Saturday, earning 2nd in kick and 6th in pom, closing out a successful season that also included a strong showing at NBLs. Our cheer team finished 3rd at NBLs and will compete in their state competition this Saturday. Both cheer and dance teams had an athlete earn all state honors this year. Registration for spring sports is now open, and the athletic department looks forward to another successful season of Wildcat athletics. Our yearbook club has just finished submitting our pages for their first deadline, and I've been working on the senior portraits and senior quotes, and the seniors apparel is for the next deadline. Our art club is currently working on the independent artistic endeavors. This month, they have started to plan a background stage set for our performing arts show. Our chess club is winding down their season, and they're meeting every week to play against each other for fun. There have been discussions between the players on hosting a tournament in school for sometime in the spring. And our Spanish club, in the month of February, they celebrated the Japanese Sanban at the beginning of February, and then the Chinese New Year.
The Performing Arts is currently working on presenting a show highlighting different genres from the 90s, and the show is scheduled for March 27th at 7 p.m. The Environmental Club is planning events for Earth Day, and they're also planning a field trip for April 7th to the New England Aquarium and for a Boston Ducks tour. The debate team, captains Alyssa Bergatti and Anuya Shah, will compete at the state finals on Saturday, March 28th, held at Bethel High School. That will be their final varsity debate. The Electrothon Car Club is focusing their energy on designing and building a brand new Electrothon car for the spring race this April. The robotics team, 2 of their 3 teams have qualified for the Beck State Championships on March 14th and 15th. The FBLA is currently in competition season, and their competition is on March 17th. They are also actively updating the Spirit Shop that can be found, the link can be found through Seymour High School's Instagram page, SHS Wildcat CT. And Bible Club continues to meet every Friday from 2 to 3:30 p.m. And The leadership have started to incorporate activities and games connected to the lessons being taught in their studies. That's it.
Any questions for our student reps? Thank you.
Excellent job.
So we'll take a brief
Right.
break.
This way you can get to go home, and their parents and students can as well. Thank you.
If anyone is welcome to stay.
Yes.
Yes.
enrollment report,
No, it's,
special education report, or financial report.
the financial report will be combined with next month.
Okay.
He'll give you the,
So next we have the Chatfield Lopresti School improvement plan.
Thank you for the opportunity to share the CLS school improvement plan for 25-26. Mr. Blecko and I welcome the opportunity. It is a continued celebration of successes that we're building a very nice tradition at CLS. We'd like to begin by we follow the same format that Bungie School actually had done. So we also have created through Google Notebook a podcast. So we're just going to play the first minute and a half for you as our intro. And so if you are later, say next weekend, road trip coming, and you have 22 minutes, maybe 22 and a half minutes that you're looking to not play your favorite music playlist, but instead you want some inspiring information, you could revisit what Mr. Blecko and I share with you today on that drive. So here we're going to start.
Okay, let's unpack this. I feel like every time we look at the state of education lately, the narrative is, well, it's usually pretty grim. We're constantly reading stories about learning loss, massive budget cuts, teacher burnout, or just this general sense that the system is creaking under the weight of the last few years. It's rare, extremely rare actually, that we get to look at a document that feels victorious.
It really is rare. Usually when we review school improvement plans or board presentations, we're looking at triage. We're looking at administrators trying to figure out how to, just stop bleeding.
Right, but today we're looking at a case study that seems to be doing the exact opposite. For this deep dive, we're looking at the Chatfield Lopresti School, or CLS, in Connecticut. And the headline here isn't just that they have a shiny new plan for the 2025-2026 school year, it's that they've just pulled off a hat trick.
A literal hat trick.
Exactly. As of this current school year, and it's February 2026 right now, they've been named a school of distinction for 3 consecutive years.
Which, for anyone outside the education bubble, is exceptionally hard to do. You might get a distinction award one year because you had a particularly strong cohort of kids, or maybe the testing standards shifted slightly in your favor. But 3 years in a row, that suggests it's not luck. That suggests a system. It suggests a culture that's actively replicating success.
And that...
thank you, CLS teachers.
So, you kind of stole my next line, Dr. Compton.
Sorry.
It is a thank you to the students and the staff at CLS for the continued positive trends. And I'd be remiss if I also, because this is sharing data highlights from last year, didn't recognize the contributions of Ms. Chacon as the assistant principal at Lopresti School last year as well. So, the great thing by having a sustained 3 years in a row of recognition as school of distinction is it creates we believe, a healthy, competitive nature for the ongoing 4th and 5th graders to continue that recognition for their growth. This is a talking point that the 4th and 5th grade teachers can have when doing goal setting with their students. And so for the past 3 years, the high needs growth in math has been recognized, and prior to this year, the 4th and 5th grade general population, all students, were recognized for their growth in math. So we look at this as 3 pillars to our success with the CLS model of care, learn, and succeed. And so for the social emotional learning, that is building on a responsive classroom, ruler, and restorative practices. and creating a sense of belonging that for both our students and our families, especially our families on the edges, that will help, because we'll get into it in a little bit, but there's one area that isn't quite where CLS would like it to be. As far as the learn pillar, our reading and literacy growth, this is an area showing nice trends of positive growth as well. This is now the third year of inter-reading as the K-3 literacy program, and so we are seeing some encouraging results already for this winter's MAP assessment, and we'll get into a little more data dive on how literacy is catching up to our math and CLS. And Succeed, going again to the past 3 years of the success with the math growth. So, statewide, nationwide, chronic absenteeism is a concern. At CLS, last year, our chronic absenteeism was 17%. State's targeting 10%, so we are targeting 10% as well for this year, because it would be appropriate to be targeting less than the minimum that the state is expecting. And so that's why we also talk about with the fostering of belonging sense at CLS, because we need students in school, and with all the positivity that's happening assessment-wise, just imagine if the students that are chronically absent, that means they've missed more than 18 days. And, you know, if you look at the district-wide calendar, there's approximately 20 school days in every month. So that's essentially a month of instruction that the students have missed that are chronically absent. And our additional target is in this area for students that 90% or greater share that they feel that they belong at CLS. So Mr. Black was going to talk about now some different strategies that are in place addressing these targets.
So a large way that we're trying to increase student belonging, which ultimately will help with chronic absenteeism and reach that 10% goal, is through these strategies we see up here. So one of the major strategies, which you've probably already heard of, is the Yale ruler approach. So the way that's looking in our school, so we are giving students the language as well as the ability to identify on the mood meter how they're feeling on any given day. And so on the mood meter, there are two axes, one that measures pleasantness as well as energy. And when students have the ability to name where they are on this meter, with one simple question of where do you show up on this meter today, students and staff can see how a student is coming to school that day. Another thing is the charter, which has been made by our staff members as a staff charter, as well as in classrooms. And the charter aims to answer 3 questions. How do we want to feel at school? What behaviors help us feel that way? And what behaviors get in the way? And by completing that charter, it will make a unanimous class decision as to how those 3 questions can be answered, and everybody can work to help each other. And then the last thing is the meta moment, which is the reflection piece. A meta moment is the space between a trigger and a response, and it teaches you to pause, reflect, choose your best self, and then act intentionally. And so with this cohesive model of the Yale ruler approach, we are hoping that students will have the knowledge to communicate how they're feeling, and it'll help us as staff members to help best support them. In terms of attendance, we've also done these 3 aspects as well. So we have a teacher attendance team, which every single month has an ever-changing caseload of reaching out to families whose children are experiencing chronic absenteeism, as well as students who are on the cusp of chronic absenteeism. And the way that we approach the conversations is to be curious at first and not condemning, so how we can best help the students and their families support their attendance at school. And this is a very adaptive approach that's going on. We also have the Golden Cheetah, which was implemented earlier this year, which has been a huge success in the classrooms. Each month, there have been more and more classrooms that have achieved the Golden Cheetah. And it's been nice to hear some student conversations of them being extremely excited to earn the Golden Cheetah, because it really shows that they feel a sense of accountability to their classmates to show up every single day. And for them to earn the Golden Cheetah, there can't be any chronic absenteeism within the class for any students. And then additionally, with the Yale Ruler approach, we're also including responsive classroom and restorative practices on a daily basis, with the ultimate goal of trying to help students feel comfortable coming to CLS and wanting to show up. And this data right here is a reflection of springtime data from last year. It shows that 90% of parents feel they belong at CLS, as well as 99% feel staff provided strategies to help their child. And these are fantastic numbers, and we're always, of course, striving for 100%.
Getting into our academic goals, the targets, if you looked historically, what CLS has done, we remain consistent with spring to spring targets in math growth for both reading and for math. What's a little different is we were concerned as an elementary team across both Bungie and CLS for assessment fatigue. And so last year we flipped, because really the standardized testing of Smarter Balance is really the more important assessment of the two. And so where we had previous years had math take place prior to Smarter Balance, we switched it and did Smarter Balance first and math second. It did make our math window go rather late. However, all student feedback, staff feedback, the statistics showed that it had what we believe a very positive impact on our scores. And the middle school also this year will be doing that. So district-wide for grades 3 and up that take Smarter Balance, they'll take Smarter Balance prior to taking the math assessment. And we also did eliminate at the elementary levels the math science assessment. So it was just taking one more assessment off, because that was also an additional assessment that was hitting in winter and spring. And so all administrators involved, let alone the staff as well, feel that they appreciate the lightened load from that. With that being said, statistically, tracking over time, our MAP scores were a little less than, because the assessment fatigue hit that. So about 5% hitting their targets less than in previous years. Still an ambitious yet attainable target for K-5 students meeting MAP growth targets to go from 60% to 64, just about 60%, to 64%. Very encouraging that our spring MAP last year, 77.3%, highest since pre-COVID, hit their MAP targets in reading. And so that is showing inter-reading program taking off, that the teachers are fine-tuning the scope and sequence. And as I've talked to the board before, we need higher scores lower, so that when they get to the standardized testing, that we aren't trying to close gaps that we can prevent from ever happening in the first place. Grade 1 also improved from 59.2 up to 59.2, up from 55.1 is from the previous year. So very encouraged by that. And our overall high needs ELA for grades 4 and 5 growth achieved on the Smarter Balance was also the highest it's been in a very long time, growing from 62.6% to 68.7%. This year, we are doing a pilot with 4th and 5th grade across the district with intermediate. We haven't settled that that would be the program that we would utilize yet. We're in a different hat when I'm talking to you as the director of curriculum, that we are looking at piloting a couple different programs in the fall before making a final decision. And we are going to include the 6th grade as part of what we do for 4th, 5th, and 6th. And so we have been connecting with a local district to go and visit actually later this month to see one of those programs in place. So, but the our winter map scores with having even just a pilot program at CLS, because realistically it's March 2nd, so I feel Mr. Vlecko and I felt that it was relevant to share a little bit of how the current year is going. We had very positive ELA map scores this winter that are significantly up from previous winters with a pilot program in place. Key interventions that are helping our ELA growth are, as I referenced, the inter-reading program and the pilot that last year, we spoke to you about the Read 180 program, which we were doing as a pilot for students in grades 3, 4, and 5 that were multiple grade levels below benchmark. And we increased that to 50 students at 50 licenses for each elementary school. So CLS has 50 students, approximately 50 students receiving those interventions. And again, MAP winter data, close to 80% of those kids hit their fall to winter targets or exceeded them. And CLS continues to gain about 10 to 12 multilingual learners each year, so we're up to 89 at CLS now. And so in addition to the traditional ML teacher or tutor pullout, we are also doing some push-in as well. This chart may look will resemble a chart from last year. We are outperforming, and I'm going to speak for Seymour at the elementary level, outperforming the statistical expectations for our demographic. So this chart is sorted by math for smarter balanced math growth. And so in our DIRT F, CLS was second at 82, behind school in Enfield at 82.2. And you can see how CLS at 82 was far above the 67.4 mean for our DIRT. If we were to switch, this is sorted by ELA, shout out for Bungie, they would be second, and CLS would round out the top 5 if we were looking at ELA growth. So again, I think it's relevant to note how well both elementary schools are doing for our DIRT. As far as our math target, we have, again, assessment fatigue we feel impacted 4th and 5th grade last year in particular. So our target has been the last few years at 75%. This past spring we were at 64.2 K to 5, targeting 70% this spring. We feel that I'm not going to really spend too much time talking about this slide other than just to explain what 3-act math is in case you're not aware what that is. So think of 3-act math, 3-act like a 3-act play, that what that is it occurs periodically within the Envision program and is using like a video clip where initially for Act 1 there's no numbers or no questions posed, and it's really for the students to, through inquiry, what do the students notice? And so then they are generating questions for Act 2. What information do we need? So it's engaging the students' curiosity and students are building the problem. And then Act 3 is when they go about solving it using math talk. And so basically they're making they're explaining their thinking. And so one statistical shout out that's not listed here, but the achievement percentage of students being proficient on the grade 5 math last year improved from 46.9% in grade 4 to 63%. So there's a lot of positive practices happening at CLS. Show this slide for just the continuing trends that success that is happening over time for both physical fitness and science. We still do need to do more use of the correct science bundles at CLS. So the path road that got us school distinction really is closing the gap for all of our students, but in particular our high need students. And so just a couple shout outs again, that 85.2% for math for grades 4 and 5, 85.2% of the targeted growth was achieved. That actually we've been over 80% for the past 3 years running, and anything not above 70% isn't significant from what I've been told, and I'm sure that was the board before from the state, because at 50% that's just average growth anyway. So to be over 80% of target growth achieved 3 years running is a real shout out to all the different staff that work with our students at CLS, and very encouraged by the growth by the ELA last year in grades 4 and 5, so that hopefully with eventually a reading program established, that will help CLS knock in a different category for school distinction. So in closing, our 3 targets: 10% for chronic absenteeism, 64 and 70% for reading and math spring to spring targets. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Excellent job, very well prepared.
Any board members have questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have any motions to remove items from the consent agenda?
I'd like to make a motion to remove item A4, Finance Committee meeting minutes.
Second? Do you want to remove them? Or just remove it?
Oh, okay, yeah, to move it to item 6A.
Awesome.
Yep. Yep. All right, all in favor?
And I'd like to make a motion to remove item B1.
Yes.
That was a hire that fell through, so that is a removal.
She's taking another position elsewhere.
Second? All in favor? Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented with the changes just noted.
All in favor? And then item
6A, the reason I wanted the Finance Committee meeting minutes removed was to ask for an adjustment in the last paragraph when we had been talking about the $50,000 that was spent on duct cleanup.
that should just be talked about as cleanup, because there was no remediation, right? Because we did not find more, so there was no need for remediation, but that was just a cleanup that we did. So if it could just say the district spent over $50,000 addressing cleanup, period. And then the last sentence, when that occurred at CLS and the activities to clean the ducts and then do the mold testing, which came back with no sign of significant mold. There was mention here in the minutes of there was no director of curriculum and instruction in place, and an interim principal was serving at CLS, and I don't recall us having a conversation about that. I think it was just this is what we did at CLS, and probably the rest of that sentence could be removed. And I'll lean on my fellow Board of Finance Committee members. I don't recall us talking about the status of the staff had any influence on how the expenses were.
Right, I don't think there were transfers discussed.
You follow anything? Okay, so if we could just strike that whole last sentence, that'd be great. Do I make a motion to accept them as changes, or do we have to wait until they come back with the changes?
I'll put them on the next agenda.
Next agenda,
Okay, thank you.
revisions.
Okay, we can move on to discussion and possible action. Are there any?
No, I'll let Mr. Simpson go. I'd like to make a motion to add to the agenda item 7, I think we're up to D now. The discussion and possible action in regards to the school gym.
Yeah.
Didn't we move up
How about the spring coaches?
Yes, you're right. Yep.
So the spring coaches is added, and then 7D.
item D? Yep.
Yes, thank you.
Do we have a second? Was that-
Second.
We're moving, we're adding the request to name the gym,
Oh, okay.
as was
Yes.
requested in public comment, as item D, and item C is the spring.
Yeah, I know
Yes.
that.
Okay, a second to add that? Okay, all in favor?
Sorry.
Discussion?
Point of clarification, the gym, I think needs to be specific as to which, just for the, right, for ed.
It's for discussion. If there's a motion to be made, we'll be specific in the motion.
I disagree, but okay.
All in favor? All right, discussion and possible action, donation of 2 microwaves for Chatfield Lopresti School.
Make a motion to approve the donation of 2 microwaves, and direct the superintendent to
Right,
place them.
right, thank you.
And as
She sees fit.
distributed, as she sees fit. You know, it's something that's
Yes, that we will do. We appreciate the donation.
Second?
Is there any need for discussion, any more information?
sorry for the clarification, there was a second.
Kristen second. Yeah. All right. All in favor? I'm gonna do it. Go for it. Two motions.
I'd like to make a motion that pursuant to Connecticut General Statute, Section 10-21(5)(f), the Seymour Board of Education certifies that all food items offered for sale to students in the schools under its jurisdiction and not exempted from the Connecticut nutrition standards published by the Connecticut State Department of Education will comply with the Connecticut nutrition standards during the period of July 1, 2026 through June 30th, 2027. This certification shall include all food offered for sale to students separately from reimbursable meals at all times and from all sources, including but not limited to school stores, vending machines, school cafeterias, culinary programs, and any fundraising activities on school premises sponsored by the school or non-school organizations and groups.
Any discussion? All in favor? And then motion number 2.
Okay, fine. I'd like to make a motion that the Seymour Board of Education will allow the sale to students of food items that do not meet the Connecticut nutrition standards and beverages not listed in section 10-221Q of the Connecticut General Statutes, provided that the following conditions are met. 1, the sale is in connection with an event occurring after the end of the regular school day or on the weekend. 2, the sale is at the location of the event. And 3, the food and beverage items are not sold from a vending machine or school store. An event is an occurrence that involves more than just a regularly scheduled practice, meeting, or extracurricular activity. For example, soccer games, school plays, and interscholastic debates are events, but soccer practices, play rehearsals, and debate team meetings are not. The regular school day, in quotes, is the period from midnight before to 30 minutes after the end of the official school day. Location, in quotes, means where the event is being held and must be the same place as the food and beverage sale.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor?
Can the clerk read that motion now?
It's all typed out.
No, I would like to hear that. I'm kidding.
You already approved it. All right, item C, spring coaches.
I make a motion to approve the spring coaches.
Okay. Before
I
you-
make a motion,
Okay, go ahead, make the motion.
sorry, to approve the spring coaches 2026 as presented.
Okay. It has to be corrected because there's double.
Point of order, we have a motion on the floor.
I mean, yes, sir.
Second.
There we go.
Okay.
But I don't believe without, sorry.
Oh, okay.
All right, I think we have to
I was
vote,
working it.
we have to vote on the motion.
Okay, but.
Yes.
But as presented is incorrect, that's what I'm
Right.
saying.
Through the chair, how, in the sense that it's, there may be some duplications of titles, but the spring coaches are pretty clear.
I agree, but if we make them, if these minutes get to people and we're approving people for example, one of them is indoor sports already happened. And then we're having people's names on there for the coming fall sports.
But without
So
those-
we can't,
but without
that
those
makes a motion, somebody could challenge that because we're doing people for the fall when we're not doing all the people for the fall.
But then with the, sorry, to the chair for me, without the spring, we're not gonna meet again until April, so then now we are going to hold all our sports. We are not gonna, we're gonna have a special meeting.
No, Jay,
Wait, but,
with just the motion has to be corrected.
Right.
That's all.
So we need to correct this.
But I mean,
This
attachment.
list, yes,
wait,
I'd
but,
like to make an amendment to the motion.
yes.
I'd like to amend that Daniel Dene is only listed as head outdoor, that Matthew Maisto is only listed as baseball, that Brian Moore is only listed as head baseball,
Ian Sadek.
and Ian
Sadek.
Sadek is only listed as outdoor track, Deidre Sponheimer is only listed as the head outdoor,
And also, if I may interrupt you, Daniel Carboni should be only listed as outdoor
oh yeah, okay.
assistant
Yep.
track.
And then
And Jamie Akasevich,
as only softball.
softball, and, where was the other one? You said Deidre?
Yep.
Okay, and you said Matt. Okay, all right.
All the fall, winter
Yes.
off. And
Yes.
just-
Because it's only to be spring.
again,
Second to that motion?
Second to
Second.
the amendment, yeah.
Second.
Oh, did you say Paul O'Connor? I'm sorry.
No. Just-
Okay.
Just put him as golf.
So it's only golf,
Yes.
because
Yes.
cross-country's fall.
Yes.
So we have a second. Vote on the amendment.
I'll second the amended list.
Amended amendment, okay.
Yes.
discussion?
No, I'll just think, that's the original maker of the motion, don't I have to accept it on first? I thought you did.
Any other discussion? All right. So we're voting to approve the amended motion. All right. So
Change the
all in
motion.
favor of the amended motion? All right. And then all in favor of the motion to approve? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wishing all those coaches and teams success.
And I just want to emphasize that so many people don't understand their year to year. There is a process. If they're a tenured coach, they could, there's a procedure if they were removed. But I think so many school districts forget their year to year. And they do have rights with due process if they were removed and they were, tenured, whatever, with the amount of years.
And just through the chair to also educate people, and I don't mean it in a negative way, but evaluations are done of the head coach by the director of athletics. The assistant coaches are evaluated by the head coach in each sport.
That's correct.
All right. Information, are there any?
Item D,
Oh,
naming of the.
yes. Item D. So through public comment, request was made to name the Seymour High School gym in honor of Ray Necchio, longtime
Man,
believer.
I'm sorry, that was very funny to me, because I tried to do that about 15 years ago, and I put down, so I
I
am
think-
wholeheartedly
I
in
think
support.
We're not in discussion yet. So we were going to, we're going to talk about the process a little bit.
Yes, there is a policy. I think the board.
Wait, do we vote to take up the motion?
No.
No. So then why are we in discussion?
Because it's an item on the agenda, you don't have to have a motion.
Oh, I thought we did, because that's what we're doing before.
We added it to the agenda, that's the only motion we made.
That's right.
There's a board policy about the process. I think the board as a whole is probably very much in support of this. I'm just speaking as superintendent. I have no vote in this. It's not my right. It's strictly left up. The Board of Education shall always make the final decision with regard to the naming of a school facility area. I think this man really warrants this type of distinction. I really do. And I think the situation right now, what you've got to do based upon policy is you might make just a general statement as a full board, send it back to the school facility, and then bring it back in the next board meeting. We're going
I'd like to make a motion then to refer to the Facilities Committee of the Board of Education for review the name of the Seymour High School Gymnasium after Raymond, I believe it's Raymond Necchio. I have a motion on the floor.
Is there a second?
Second.
Can you repeat the motion, please?
I would like to refer to the Facilities Committee for board review, the naming of the Seymour High School Gymnasium after Raymond Necchio. With pleasure, because I have tried to do that many years ago, and I was shut down. So it is an honor to be able to bring back that motion.
Any discussion?
I was just thinking, if there is a rush to name it, then we should maybe schedule a facilities committee and then a Board of Education special meeting right after that for one item.
Yeah, I think that would be good if we could do and move on that. We had scheduled facilities meeting last week and got canceled because of the snow, but But I think it'd be very important to schedule this as soon as we can.
So you would need to
And then have a
change the
special call.
agenda from the original meeting, right?
Yes.
Any other discussion?
So we will need to find out if we have a date that we all can meet. That would be my suggestion.
That's Chris and you and, right, the three. Yeah.
But we also need to know if we can do it maybe back to back. or
Yes,
we
that would be
wanna
great, to do it before and then have a special call meeting right afterwards.
That's what I'm
So we'll
thinking,
try
so
to
we can-
expedite it, okay?
So we need to find out when all of us could do
Yes, yes.
We know the liaison committee has a meeting scheduled at the end of the month. So it could be,
Well, yeah, I think we can move it up quicker than that. We are also going to have a special call meeting in regards, we have to notify a staff member if they're going to be let go by union contract by April 1st. Right now, we possibly got a candidate that might have to be given a letter because of a certification issue. Great person, it's just it's whether a certification comes through.
okay, so let's vote on Jay's motion. Unless there's any further discussion. Okay. All in favor?
So then now technically, do we have to make a motion to schedule a meeting?
No,
We could
you
just
don't.
schedule it.
Yeah, we'll schedule it.
So we'll give our availability to
Yeah,
Shannon.
yeah, we'll work on it.
We don't need a chair, it's going to the facilities committee.
Yeah, of the facilities committee.
Right.
They have a
Yeah.
chair.
A doodle?
Yeah. Well, the chair can call the meeting.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I promise, we'll be after all three of you to get this scheduled, okay? And then the full board, because we want to bring the full board back right after the meeting.
Just a point of clarification for item D, the link for the NEASC accreditation application is taking us to Mr. Lennon hiring for library media, so just to.
It is. Let me fix it right now.
Any questions or comments under information? All right. Board of Education comments and superintendent report. I have no specific comments. Any board members have comments?
Just to announce that we'll be speaking and presenting to the Board of Finance on Monday. And if anybody in the public or any of our staff who would like to come, sign a show of support, make public comment and support, it is the first public presentation of our budget aside from the meetings that we have had.
Okay. Superintendent's report.
Yes, I would just like to make you aware that Mr. Lucky and Fred Stanek and the Alumni Association, I've had some discussion with them individually as well. There've been quite the start of the planning to hold this memorial celebration for Ray Necchio, which would be Saturday, March the 21st at 1 p.m. At Seymour High School Auditorium. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock, there's going to be another planning committee about the program. I know that Jay and Ed had expressed they'll probably be there and probably will want to speak in regards on the program, so just let us know, Mr. Lucky, myself. Also, Mr. Stanek has spent a lot of time as well with this, and also his brother also is involved with this. So I put also the Board of Ed on this as well with the sponsorship, so hope that's okay, because I think we should be, because he served in different capacities, not just at the high school. So it's going to be March the 21st. The second thing that I want to mention as a reminder, the middle school is having a pasta dinner. I think that's March the 12th, Mr. Rourke? Yes, so we want to invite you. I'll send out the announcement again. It's something they've been doing for the past 2 years, and it's been a very successful event. Also, I want to make you aware that Bertram Moses, the legal fees, they've just made a minor adjustment. Thank goodness it's not much of an increase. So I'll pass that around, and that way you can see the letter. I also want to address, before I talk about the principal candidates and the selection process and following your policy, I want to mention in regards, where do we fall on the calendar? And I know this was something that Mrs. Bruno asked us today, could we share out? Currently, right now, the last projected day of school is June 17th. We were projected to get out June the 10th. So where we fall now, we've had 5 snow days and canceling out of school, 4 delayed openings. So I'm going to pass this around. Something I also want you to consider, several of the districts do a 3-hour delay only in a case of emergency. I'm not much of a believer of it at all because, you know, you're not getting much of an education. But due to some situations in emergency, it would be necessary to do a 3-hour delay. I don't think this has been done in Seymour, maybe once or twice in case of an emergency. I'd like for you all to grant me permission, because I wouldn't do it when the other districts, I was the only one day, we did 2 hours and not 3 hours. And I'd only do it if it was a last resort. And also a situation that if we got into where we could change the calendar, if it was like a PD for the rest of the afternoon, and we got into a delay opening, we don't want to bring children in for 3 hours and then, 2 hours and send them right back out. Parents would be very upset. So that would be changing the calendar, for example, in a case of emergency, but that's something that we've got to really look into. Tomorrow we're hoping to get the kids into school. I don't know if you've noticed the weather projections. We think we can get everybody in. It's just getting everybody back home because the temperature is going to be around 30 degrees. It's supposed to warm up. But tomorrow is a early dismissal. So we're going to have to really be on the move and trying to get them home and get them home safe. So it's, it was in 1 or 2 times, the one Wednesday where we delayed, we canceled, it was the best thing to do. Because the roads were bad at 9 o'clock. We couldn't have high school buses on the road at 8. So, it really was a tough decision. So, thank you for your support, but we've just got to keep in mind tomorrow afternoon what happens. I think we can get the kids all safe to school. We might have to do some kind of emergency dismissal if it gets bad and we feel like it's not going to whatever. So, I want to make it work.
Are you
Yeah.
asking that, are you asking us to add to the agenda today to give you those emergency authorizations, or are you looking for at another meeting? I just wasn't clear. Like, is that something you want us to add now, that in case of emergency, that you were able to change the professional development calendar and/or?
I think in an extreme emergency, I don't know legally in regards only you can amend the calendar, but I don't know with the superintendent's discretion, so I don't know. I think if we can get through tomorrow, we should be okay. But it's something I want us to consider, but I definitely would like about the 3 hours, so think about that, because I don't think that's been done in Seymour.
Sorry, just to follow up to the chair, if I may. I'm not sure if, like, the PD and the half-day things, I don't know, because, like, that just happened recently in our district, I don't know if it's the same in yours, but, you know, they sent us an email on that Tuesday that they were changing half day Wednesday because of the, you know, delay.
Yeah.
possibly, and it being
And
canceled.
reschedule.
But they did change, you know, it's a 24-hour thing, so I do think we should give you that authorization that in case of emergency like that, you should be able to make that change.
Well, maybe too, we'll reach out to the attorney and make sure that I don't do something, you know what I'm saying? Just give me permission to reach out to the attorney, you know, to address it.
Yeah, I don't think that requires a motion.
It doesn't really, but just that you all are in support of it. Because I definitely wasn't going to do a 3-hour.
Yeah, I think my opinion, I think the 3-hour delay, I don't have a problem with that. I think changing the calendar does impact families in a
Yes, it
different
does.
way.
Yeah.
I think that's something that needs more lead
Yeah,
time
yeah.
to make a change to it.
Totally understand. I now would like to mention about the but the CLS principal selection and the process. We'd like to set up the first stage, which is the committee. We usually have at least 2 board members that serve on this committee. This is going to be a very, very important decision. It's been 15 years since there's been a different principal CLS, the same thing with Bungie. It was 15 years before with Mrs. Feige. So this is a very important decision in regards with the principal selection. So I'd like to go ahead and establish the committee. There's at least 3 teachers, possibly 4. A guidance counselor is going to be on the committee this time. And Mrs. Cunningham and Becky DeAngelis and possibly Allison. So, and Jess, we're trying to work out that part from the CLS group. Then 2 to 3 board members who would like to serve. And in regards, there'll be some administration on that committee as well. I'd like to pass this around. We currently have, this is confidential, we have 42 applicants. There are 3 or 4 that are very well qualified with experience. No, but I just want to make you be aware of what's going on. And these are all the applications. I just want you to see that we've done our diligence, okay? So in regards with that. In regards to the Director of Nutritional Services, you've had an outstanding lady, 33 years of service. We're going to post the position. There are requirements that will be spelled out in the job description that matches with our policy. She's asked also to be a part in just looking at applications. That's not a problem. In the end, again, we're going to have a committee on that. If the board members would like to serve, let me know. I will tell you that I've looked at different options, and just in case that we don't have an outstanding applicant, there is some outstanding food service directors in especially one of our neighboring districts that's in a small district. I did speak with the superintendent that one possibility could be to share. It's just something to think about. That superintendent would be in agreement. That person hasn't been spoken to. We're going to let this process work, and what comes out of the process will work. But I'm just saying it's something I don't think we've ever thought about, but there is a really outstanding food service director that's right next door to us, and it's a small district, and it might be something that we could work out a shared situation. Because technically, they oversee all the regulations, all the paperwork, and all of that. So it's something to think about. We're going to go ahead and post the job.
Sorry if I'm late to the chair. I appreciate your comments on that, Dr. Gavin. I do think, though, that we as a board do have to have a deeper conversation, though, a little bit of that process, in the sense that this individual has served for 33 years and really almost ran her own company.
Oh,
Right.
outstanding.
And I think though that
Yeah,
before
she's
we,
been
we really have to think about, is that still the way we want to continue? You know, like we as a board, I think we need to have a deeper conversation to say, is that how we still want to operate it, or do we want to, you know, I think that should be an agenda item at some point, that we have a little bit more of a deeper dive into.
Yeah.
Because again, we're gonna be building a new school soon, there's a big component there of that, and that they're gonna have to then fund all that
Right.
equipment and whatnot, through the project and or, you know, I've seen it twice, and it's been successful, but we've been lucky.
Yeah.
That she has had a lot of knowledge and how to do it and whatnot. So I think for us to just say, oh, we're gonna post it, do we really know what we're?
Well, here's what I would like to do, though. I'd like to go ahead and post it. That doesn't mean you're going to do anything with it until you have discussion. Let's go ahead and get it out there and just see what happens, and then you can have further discussion on how you really with the process. Because, like we said, you know, this is an exemplary lady, 33 years she's been here.
Isn't it the case that all districts run it the same way? Because it's a
Yeah.
self-funded program. That's why she was running it the way she ran it, because it's self-funded. So it's
Yeah,
not
and it's
in our
federally
budget. So
regulated.
But a lot of, sorry, coming through the chair, and again, I think from our experience with, going to the convention, a lot of boards use companies.
Yeah, some contract
And-
out.
I'm sure they're much bigger than Seymour, though.
Well, not necessarily, but,
No.
I mean, we're lucky. I think we've been very lucky.
You
that
have
She
been.
has been able to do it for us. I don't think that's a.
You've never had to worry about food service.
Right, and I.
Because
again,
you've had
I'm
an
worried that
exemplar.
We might have a situation where we could get somebody and it becomes a disaster, and then
That's
we
right.
do have to bail them out. So we have to be very diligent in our.
I don't disagree with you. I agree with Dr. Compton. Post the position and shame on us if we hire someone who doesn't have the experience or the knowledge to do it, but.
But what's to say that we, sorry, for the chair, what's to say we want to continue the model that we're having? We didn't even have that conversation that we wanted to do that. And I think that's my concern. And I'm not questioning Dr. Compton's, choice. I just think that we have the right to have that conversation. Do we want to continue the model, or do we want to change the model? We have a unique
Yeah.
opportunity.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's good. That can be an agenda item. Maybe when we do the situation with the special call meeting, we can talk more about that. Yeah. There's, Region 16 does a different plan. There's some that contract out with different companies. Then we've got some other surrounding districts, so.
So we have plenty of work to do in March.
Yes.
All right. The next item is for executive session.
Chris, that's not.
Yes.
That's what I'm covering.
Okay.
I move that the board enter executive session to discuss matters concerning security strategy, deployment of security personnel, and devices affecting public security in accordance with Connecticut General State Statute, Section 1-206C, and invite Dr. Susan Compton, Director of Security Ed Henry, Chief of Police John Buccarati, and Deputy Chief Mike Fapiano.
Oh, he is back there.
Sorry, through the chair.
There's a motion on the floor.
Second. Second. All right, all in favor,
No, I have discussion. But the deputy chief is not listed on the agenda, so I don't think he can be invited.
Well, we have to add him.
We don't have to add to the agenda. The motions that are here are
motion
just
is
for
posted.
guidance.
The motion is posted.
This isn't a motion, it's
Motions are
just
for
a
guidance.
Just, yeah.
Right, but it doesn't say the people's names. I thought we have to discuss in previous times that the people who are invited to executive session have to be identified.
We
in
just
the motion.
identified them.
Just identified.
We just
But
identified
not
them
the
in the
one that's
motion.
posted to the.
It doesn't
There's not a
matter.
motion
also let it-
posted, it's just a
It's not a
discussion.
motion.
All right.
Okay.
All
I
in
just-
favor of going to executive session?
Opposed.
You didn't list out Dr. Compton, but she's fine.
Okay, well then she shouldn't be invited. That wasn't listed. We've had this
Hey,
conversation numerous
nobody's
times.
listed. There's
We've had this
no
conversation.
motion.
Just an argument.
It's settled.